everybody who works and operates in the digital space everything they do is getting transformed with this AI stuff. You know, I own a digital marketing company, so we've been building websites and running ads and stuff for 10 years. And everything that we do on computers is being done with AI or through AI now. But the construction world is slower to adopt this. You know, as a builder building things in the real world, like there isn't an AI that can frame a house yet. But there will be one of these days. There's going to be robots building stuff before you know it. But there's a lot of things in a construction business where AI can help now. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. So I think if we back up a little bit and just think about what is the AI, what is it doing? Like the AI it's kind of like an intelligence. That's why they call it artificial intelligence. But all it does is like read or look at some data and then take data as an input and then give you an output. And so the reason why it's transforming everything in the digital space is because the digital data is already accessible by AI. Anything on a computer can be read by AI, and therefore that is developing really rapidly. But building is much slower. If for example, you had been wearing a GoPro on you for the last 20 years for every job that you've ever done, and you had this database or this hard drive full of all of this video, then you could feed all that video to an AI model and it would be able to replicate a lot of what you do. But not very many people have done that. There's a lot of people, I bet, doing it right now, but that data just doesn't exist. But like practical ways to use it in a construction company, like one of my favorite examples is for estimating. So I was doing this before AI, but when I would go estimate a project and I'd go to someone's house, I would ask them right away, like, hey, is it okay if I record a video of this just so that I have it and I don't forget anything? And they always say yes. And so I would turn the video on and I would just like hold it against my chest and I would carry on. I would go take measurements. I would talk to the person. I would make sure I got video of everything. And so every project always started with that video, and that gave me the before pictures. It gave me a perfect record of everything we had talked about. And after doing it a few times, I learned that if I ask the right questions and, you know, talk about the right things in that video, that I didn't have to take as many notes and I didn't have to remember as many things because I had a record of it. And so that was pre-AI, but with AI, that unlocks a whole lot of things because you can go in and now you've got video and pictures, which AI can read now, and you've got a transcript of the entire conversation that you had with a customer, and you can take the text of that transcript and give it to AI and then use it as like a second brain for when you're doing the estimate. You know, maybe you use it to, if you're using a spreadsheet, you use it to get the initial estimate down. And then you go in and you tweak it yourself. And then you show the AI and you say, did I forget anything? And the AI can look back at the conversation that you had and be like, oh, well, they said that they wanted this kind of countertop. It's like, oh, okay, good. Like those are examples of how you can use it as a contractor. And the key is that you just need to like digitalize whatever data, like whatever's happening. If you have a digital record of everything that's happening at your company, then theoretically the AI could see all of it. And that's what I talked about in my last video is I have a database where I pipe in the data from my calendar, from my email, from my project management software, from my CRM, from all the Zoom calls that I do, all those transcripts. So I bring all of that information together, and then I can give an AI access to it and ask it questions, and it's able to go, you know, come up with answers and scour through data faster than any human could. And it helps me a little bit, but I'm still just figuring out, like, what does this even mean? This is like a whole new world. It's a whole new skill set. Anybody like me who's trying to implement it and learn how to use it, we're all on the frontier of this stuff. So nobody really knows what what to do with it, but we're trying to figure it out. And if you're trying to figure it out too, that's one of the first steps is getting mindful of the data at your company and organizing it and putting it in forms that are digital that AI can access. And I always think of like photography or videography. Like when I started this YouTube channel, it was because I bought a camera and I started using it, and I was taking a whole lot of pictures, making videos. And very quickly I discovered how difficult it is to keep all of that stuff organized. You have all these folders with all these different pictures in them, and you have to label them and you have to keep them organized. And this is the similar problem as the data at your business or even in your life, is like, how do you keep it all organized? And AI can help you with that. But on the same token, AI it's kind of like a mirror. If your data is unorganized and inaccurate, then the AI's outputs to you are going to be disorganized and inaccurate. So it's a whole new skill set that most people have just never had to deal with, especially in the construction world when you're working in the physical world all the time. Maybe you have a notebook and you take some pictures of your projects, but other than that, like, everything happens and you're left with the finished product. That's the evidence. But there isn't a digital paper trail of everything that happened unless you go out of your way to do that. And I think that will be the future, is having a digital paper trail of everything that's going on at your business, and that will be how all businesses operate. There's even some company that came out a couple years ago where they have this little like square necklace thing that you're supposed to wear all day, every day, and it just records the audio of everything that happens around you. And the idea is it's like a log of your entire life, and you can feed it to AI and AI can help you. It didn't really catch on, at least yet. But I think that's the way things are going. Like it's all data, and in the construction world, if you start thinking about this now, like, you're going to be early in just figuring out how to create a digital paper trail of everything you're doing and get organized with it. It's going to unlock a ton of things for you a lot faster than everyone else. And if you sleep on this stuff and you don't do any of it, in a few years, you're going to notice some of your competitors just pull ahead of everybody because they're starting to do this now. So start thinking about the data, start thinking about how to digitize the things that are happening at your company. The estimate is a really easy place to start. A lot of companies out there are already doing a lot of this stuff. Like the bigger HVAC, plumbing companies, people running like a fleet of vans, they've already had to digitalize a lot of this stuff. But for the small contractor who's more old school, is a whole new world, and something to start thinking about.